So let's get into the Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 6, episode 3, y'all. So let's get into it. These heifers. So this episode is called, for me, it's called Dismiss. But we'll get down to the mess of the mess in a minute. But let's first start off with, they show Lisa working. Yes. Showing her working with her clientele, the A-listers of Hollywood. Yeah, they had to come to Salt Lake City. So yeah, show her doing that. Then we get Broadway and her husband. They do a date night, and at the date night, he come to find out he has changed a lot of things. We come to find out that Todd has actually did a lot of changes in the relationship for them two. She hasn't did. She said she ain't did a lot. He has did more changes and stuff like that. Have changed his schedule around and things to accommodate his wife. He don't speak to her in the way he used to speak to her since last season. He has changed, so their relationship seems like it has gotten better. Um, she ended up talking about her parents and stuff. Her dad has dementia. So he doesn't remember a lot of things. Her mom had a tumor. Her mom majority stays with them, moved in with them and stuff. So she thanked him for everything he has done and all that. And, just really how much she appreciate him and stuff like that. And I said their scene was really nice. I actually liked it. Also, they get down to the nitty gritty, and she talked about he asked what's going on with the ladies and whatever, because one lady in particular he can't stand. He don't like Lisa. He don't give a damn about Lisa. He can't care. He don't like that woman at all. He don't understand why she's so sticked on want to be friends with her. She said, I don't like when people don't like me. A lot of people don't like you. Why about her? But it kind of made sense when we get closer to her and her mother. It makes a lot more sense. And he said that this woman then did everything to you. This woman then did stuff that is unbelievable in things that you shouldn't even want to be around her at all. I said true, but for some reason she want to be cool with her. It's like, and the thing with Broadway that I don't like, when you have a person like Lisa, don't tell her nothing. You don't even tell her surface stuff. You shouldn't tell her nothing, not even surface things. You got to be very, very more calculated with a person like Lisa. And Lisa worse than Jen Shaw. I say, I'm sorry to say it, she is. But we're gonna move on past that. We move on to Angie and her dad. So Angie and her dad was a nice little situation. Cause she went to see her dad. Her dad is 80, 84, 82, 83, somewhere around here in his 80s. And he's a busy man. He always up going doing stuff and everything. And they had a great little time together. We ended up learning about him growing up because he brought out photo books of his childhood and stuff over there in Greece. And he ended up telling about, they were dirt poor over there, but he told about the village that he lived in where Germany, during World War II, actually came in and burnt down his village and stuff. He said, that's why they came to America. They came with nothing and whatever, but he built an incredible life here for him and it's like, I think it's 8 or 7 of them kids all together, and his wife, who passed away and whatever. But she had a nice conversation with her dad, which was very much touching. We'll move past them and get into, now we move on to Broadway and her mom. So Broadway and her mom, her mom just got back from California. I think it was California. Yeah, her mom got back from California because she's still trying to sell their childhood house. So the mom had to go through Baldwin's dad stuff. It's been over 20 years since they went through it. He's has 24-hour care because of Alzheimer's. I'm gonna say Alzheimer's and dementia. I think that's what it is. Yeah, because remember he in a memory care facility. And she ended up having to talk with her mom where that her dad remember her as a young lady, maybe in her 1920s, somewhere around that. He thinking she's in college. That's where he think that she at. Thinking her that she's the age of his granddaughter and stuff. And the mom had to tell him no, that's not her, that's not and whatever. She passed that and stuff. So that's where his memory is. And her and her mom had a conversation where we ended up getting to know a little bit more about her mother. She said her mother the way her mother talked to her was like, oh, her mother is very hard on her. Her mother told her, you got where you are because who you with, Todd. Because without Todd, you wouldn't have got here. I said, damn. I said, I said, and she told her mom, like, I don't like that you say that. I don't like saying, well, but sure, if you didn't have him, you wouldn't be where you are. I said, damn. I said, ooh. I said, she wouldn't be living in my damn house. I said, please, she'd be at a facility right along with her husband. Shoot, play them games if you want to. But I said, the way she talked, I said, I don't like it. I don't like it, but it makes sense. Like she wants that. She said her mom talks to her like that a lot. But it's I'm happy that she does. I'm happy that Bronwyn do tries to tell her mom that that's not nice, but she still wants that approval. And I understand I get why she looking for Lisa approval, which I don't get with that. But in some way, some form, it's like it's reminding her of her mother. That's what I get from Lisa. But I said Lisa's is a cold hearted bitch. I said your mama may be what she is, but I don't know about her. But that's what goes on with her and her mother. So we move on to Heather. So Heather at home, she didn't cleaned out some room in the house that was she said was storage for all the kids. She didn't move all their junk out, shoes, whatever. She moved it all out, cleaned it out, get it ready to repaint. She about to have her a young sickle house where she gonna have somebody up in there. And she had Angie over there, and stuff. She picking out paint colors and all that. They had a little chit chat about Lisa as usual and stuff, the situation, the friendship. And Angie stands by how she feel about Lisa and her position. And stuff for me, for the most part. Uh and we ended up finding out that Angie ended up telling about her daughter. So Angie got her citizenship, and she told her daughter took her daughter out, one on one now, and she told her daughter she getting her citizenship. Her daughter went, okay. I think I think she was getting her citizenship for Greece, where her dad is from. I think that's what it was for. It really didn't say. I think that's what. Yeah, because the daughter was not impressed, did not really care. She said the thing is, you made your whole identity about you being Greek, and the daughter don't like that. And Angie feel away because Angie thought that they were gonna be buku best friends, you know, for the rest of their life. As her daughter get older and everything else. I said that ship sailed a long time ago, girl. I said, you literally smothered her. I said, you smothered that girl. I said, she was done with you a long time ago. But, it may change. She is a teenager. And teenagers don't want to be around their parents at all. I said, it may change once she get in her 20s, close to her 30s. It may change. It may not. She may want to be around you a little bit more, but don't get your hopes up, girl. But she was a little putting back by that. But move on past there, we get into yeah, they talked about the Lisa situation, issues and stuff like that. Okay, so we move on to Lisa. So Lisa is having a event where she inviting the group of ladies and she's splitting them up in two. Some are going to the gun range and some are going to meet at the where they're going to have lunch at. At the gun range, she having Meredith, Heather, the lady who threw the party, Amy, and Mary. I said, "Oh, Brittany ain't coming. Brittany the Buku, Brittany your bestie, who think y'all are good friends. She's not invited." Huh. All righty. So they went to the gun range. It was cute and whatever. Lisa and Heather had a little side note and all that stuff, but nothing really happened there. So we get to the luncheon. The other ladies were there and stuff, and there's a little shock that they was even invited to the luncheon. The ones that was there was Brodwin, Whitney, Brittany. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was the ones that was there. And Angie. Was Angie? Yeah, Angie was there. So they all ended up meeting up at the lunch place. And as they walked in there, y'all, Lisa then put poster boards of her dismissed cases. Was a lot of them cases that was up there wasn't dismissed. She even put dismissed on them. But her picture of herself is all over them. I said, girl, you the best. They still looking like phone. They said, oh, they're gonna Photoshop. I said, oh my God. The Amy lady, she went, oh my God. She said, this is what you said you was doing. That lady was so embarrassed. I said, yeah, I don't see Amy being a friend of this show. I think, yeah, she's gonna drop out. Because I said, Lisa, yeah, she's Lisa's friend. That ain't gonna work for her because Lisa's a mess. So, Lisa said, this is all about me. All about me, for us to get down to to debunk the lies and stuff. So she ended up going head to head with Lisa went head to head with Angie and head to head with Whitney and head to head with Broadway. So who did she go head to head with first? Let me see. Who was that? Was it Broadway first? No, it was Angie. She went head to head with Angie first. Because Angie was asking her question. Angie asked the questions about who paying for the train. Is that man paying? Did that man pay for your car, your Amex card, and did he give you 18K? At least I'm like, no. I said, girl, it's in the paperwork. You know that man gave you. And it was dismissed. I said, girl, because it was dismissed does not mean anything. So Broadway asked her. Broadway said, oh, was it dismissed by the court or did you pay? Should stay out of my business. When Lisa is caught in a lie, she try to be slick every time. Broadway is all the. I said so. Angie answered her question. Broadway's come in. So Angie doing her confession. Angie said, like, yeah, this is set up like she's a princess in a Disney movie. And like all of this is just gonna go away. And Angie in her confession, Angie was all a roll. And I am loving it. Angie in her confessions be having me weak. Cause she be getting it. A Disney movie, she's a princess. But Lisa don't act like she's a princess. Like she pretty one, but she ain't the pretty one. I'm getting sad though, y'all. But let me continue. So we move on from her and Angie to her and Broadway. So doing her and the Broadway, Lisa started bringing up everything that went on the trip and what about the necklace and stuff like that from the reunion. And Broadway said if you was on the RV trip, you would have known about all of that because we were there. They know. They know. I already told them. I apologize for that. So I said, oh, well, I said, that's how you own up to your stuff. If you know you did something wrong. She's been owning up to hers. You ain't owning up to nothing. You just becoming left and right. Dagger after dagger. So after that, they go at it. Lisa said, Lisa goes into like, yes, I'm being sued. Yes. She said, yes, I'm being sued and stuff like that. Lisa started going off. At this point, I know her and Whitney ended up going at it too. Because Whitney started asking questions. And at this point, Mary came in. Mary had to tell Lisa, no, everybody on the trip, everybody was talking about you. And she ignored that and kept going at it. She was just going at it at the ladies. She was going at it. Her and Whitney started going back and forth. Back and forth. She started bringing up Whitney business. She got under Whitney's skin at this point. To the point where Whitney got so mad that Whitney got up, walked around the table, got in her face, and was talking to her and whatever. You can tell that Whitney wanted it. I said, I'm gonna be honest, Whitney been wanting to hit her since last season. She wanted to hit her so bad. So at that point, Whitney then walked out. And Mary said, sit down, Whitney, sit down. She didn't sit down. She just walked out. But also, there was another thing. When Lisa and Bronwyn, no, what's it, Lisa and Bronwyn? It's either Lisa Bronwyn or Lisa Bronwyn and Whitney. When they were all arguing, Meredith wanted to give her 2 cents all of a sudden. Now she got a voice. So they went, you ain't have a voice then on the trip when everybody was going at her. Say what? Yes, I did. I did defend her. I did. And this is when Mary said, no, you didn't, girl. Mary said, Meredith, you didn't say not a word. Say, yes, I did, girl. And Lisa went, I believe. I said, Meredith, use a joke. Because I said, that woman literally talked about you, your husband, and your kids. It made lies about you. At this point, it makes me think, was the lie true? Because the way you acting and you defending this woman is allowed to dog you out, dog you and your kids and your husband out, but let you talk about her and hers is an issue. But that's what's going on there. I said, but that's all that happened. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and join the channel. This was the recap of Salt Lake City Housewives episode 3. The dismiss that I call it. Lisa, all about her. She's a mess. But tell me how y'all feel about this episode in the comments. Like up the channel, share it to your friends, and get back at me.